The bell above the orphanage gate rang softly each time a luxury car stopped outside, and every time it did, the children rushed to the windows with hope shining in their eyes, everyone except little Emma, who stayed quietly in the corner of the courtyard, her small hands gripping the cold metal arms of her wheelchair. At just 6 years old, Emma had already learned something no child should ever have to understand: sometimes people see the chair before they see the child. That morning was adoption day, the biggest day of the year, when families from across the city came searching for a son or daughter to take home. The girls had their hair neatly braided, the boys wore their cleanest shirts, and nervous smiles filled the air like fragile glass. Emma wore her only orange dress, carefully washed but still faded at the seams. She had brushed her blonde hair herself, trying to smooth the tangles, whispering to her reflection, "Maybe today." But deep down, she had stopped expecting miracles. She had watched too many couples walk past her before, their polite smiles never quite reaching their eyes when they noticed her wheelchair. Inside the main hall, laughter echoed as one by one, children were chosen. A cheerful little boy with freckles was lifted into the arms of a young couple. A shy girl with dimples clung to her new mother's hand as they signed papers at the desk. Each goodbye felt like a small door closing. Emma waited outside because the stairs inside were difficult to navigate, and though the staff tried their best, the building was old and not built for wheels. She watched through the open doorway as another child left, carrying a stuffed bear and a brand new future. Her chest tightened, but she forced a smile for her best friend Lily, who stood nearby whispering, "Don't worry, Em. Your family is coming." Emma nodded, even though her heart whispered something different: "Everyone gets chosen, except me." Just when the last of the mourning family seemed ready to leave, a sleek black car pulled up to the gate. The staff exchanged curious glances. Out stepped a tall man in a tailored suit, his presence quiet but powerful. His name was Daniel Carter, a billionaire entrepreneur known for building one of the largest tech companies in the country. He wasn't here for publicity, there were no cameras, no reporters. He walked in alone, observing everything with thoughtful eyes. The director greeted him warmly, explaining that most of the children had already been matched. Daniel nodded politely but didn't seem rushed. Instead, he asked, "May I meet the ones who are still waiting?" They walked toward the courtyard, where Emma sat under the shade of an old tree. She didn't notice him at first. She was too busy tracing circles on her dress, pretending not to care. Daniel stopped a few feet away, watching her quietly. He noticed how she kept glancing toward the gate every few seconds, hope fighting disappointment. He crouched down to her level. "Hi there," he said gently. Emma looked up, startled. Most visitors didn't kneel. Most just waved awkwardly and kept walking. "What's your name?" he asked. "Emma," she replied softly. "And what do you like to do, Emma?" She hesitated before answering. "I like to draw houses, big ones. With gardens." Daniel smiled. "That sounds beautiful. Do you draw yourself inside them?" Emma shook her head. "No. I draw them for other people." Something in that answer made Daniel's expression change. He turned to the director, who quietly explained Emma's story, how a car accident had taken her parents and left her unable to walk, how she had been waiting longer than any other child. Daniel listened without interrupting. When he looked back at Emma, his eyes were no longer just curious, they were certain. "Would you show me one of your drawings?" he asked. Emma wheeled herself to a small box beside the bench and pulled out a folded paper. On it was a large house with wide ramps instead of stairs and flowers lining every path. In the corner, barely visible, was a tiny figure in a wheelchair under a bright sun. Daniel swallowed hard. "Emma," he said softly, "what if I told you I know a house that needs exactly this design?" Her eyes widened slightly. "Really? Really? And I think it might be missing one very important person." The director covered her mouth in surprise as Daniel stood and said firmly, "I'd like to begin the adoption process." The courtyard went silent. Emma blinked, unsure if she had heard correctly. "Me," she whispered. Daniel knelt again, his voice steady. "Yes, you. If you'll let me." For the first time in years, Emma didn't look at the ground. She looked straight into his eyes, and smiled. That day, the girl everyone overlooked became the center of someone's world. And as Daniel pushed her wheelchair toward the gate, past the same doors that had once felt like barriers, Emma realized something powerful. it only takes one person to change everything. If this story touched your heart and you believe every child deserves love and a chance, make sure to subscribe to our channel and join our family. Because here, we share stories that remind the world that hope is never out of reach, and sometimes, the ones overlooked today become the greatest blessings tomorrow.